Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Mental Monday. So, today I want to talk about a part of healing from burnout and avoiding burnout that I talked a lot about me struggling with, and that is sleep. I have never been one that was good at getting the amount of sleep I need because I'm a night owl. So even on nights when I know I have to get up early in the morning, even on nights when I know it's going to hurt me the next day, I stay up late. And it doesn't matter if I have something to get done or not, although needing to work later into the night on stuff like for school, I was always the one staying up late finishing stuff for school because after getting home from school, I just didn't feel like doing more work. Anyways, so I have always been a night owl. I would do major overhauls of my bedroom and be rearranging it and cleaning it when I was in high school at like midnight, Sunday night before school the next morning. I have always been a night owl. My brain goes a million miles a minute at night, and I do not do well with mornings at all. I have never been a morning person ever in my life, and that trait has not stopped as I've gotten older. However, I have noticed more how sleep affects me, and I can tell when I'm not getting enough, when I'm waking up at bad points in my sleep cycle, because that can make a difference. Just all of these things that I think add up to not great sleep. So I've been thinking of ways to improve my sleep, to be able to get better sleep, and I have 5 tips that I have not necessarily implemented all of them, but these are things I'm working towards or working on or thinking about to improve your sleep patterns and your sleep habits. Number 1 is to know how many hours of sleep a night you need and set yourself a bedtime that allows you to get that. So that means if you need 7 hours of sleep, going to bed and falling asleep, giving yourself time to fall asleep, to be asleep for 7 hours before you have to be up the next morning. And then that kind of also leads into deciding what time do you really need to be up the next morning. If it's going to be earlier, you're going to need to go to bed earlier. If not, you can maybe push it a little later and you wouldn't have to go to bed at like 9 o'clock if you really don't need to. Just thoughts. Like I said, I'm not good at this, so, don't take my examples as perfect advice. It is important to know how much sleep you need also. Adults do need less, but I know I have read everywhere that 7 hours is usually at least needed for everybody. At least 7 hours to give yourself that time. I usually shoot for 8. When I'm planning it out, that's usually what I think of as ideal to try to get, because I've heard 8 hours of sleep my whole life as what you should get. But 7 to 8 hours is usually what I try to stay within if I can, if I'm being good. So know when you need to go to bed and stick to that for when you have to get up and how much sleep you need. The second one is discipline your screen time. I know with how tech everything is right now, that's really difficult, and I'm really bad at going to sleep with my phone. Like, I will be on my phone pretty much until the moment my eyes are just not able to hold themselves open anymore, and I'm just so tired I need to fall asleep. But I have a fix for that too, because the night mode on iPhones, I don't know what this translates to on Androids, or if there is something like that on Androids, but the night shift mode on iPhones changes the screen to be not so blue. And of course, you don't want to do this and just constantly depend on that. You still need to get your time of sleep, but if you are somebody that goes on your phone a lot at night, this can at least help diminish how much it affects you, if not take that away completely. So that is one, and you can see it changes the color of it from blue. So the blue in the screen is really what you're most worried about. That can also look like being aware of if you're going to bed with the TV on and how bright the TV is, stuff like that. If you can lower the brightness on the TV, that'd be good. If you can watch a darker show, that would be good. If you can watch a quieter show that really is more background noise, if you are somebody that goes to bed with the TV on, because I know we are definitely people that go to bed with the TV on, and I don't feel like that hinders my sleep. That kind of helps me fall asleep. I don't think I would fall asleep as quickly in a dark, quiet room. That's just not me. But if that is you, no TV, and make sure that's what you do and what you stick to. So just know your own patterns and what you yourself need within that. Number 3 is to be aware of what part of your sleep cycle you will be in. There are certain parts of your sleep cycle that is really bad to wake up during. You'll be super groggy and not very able to wake up. It'll be a lot harder to get going. And then there are others where you will feel super refreshed and energized. The deeper the sleep, the more you're going to feel groggy if you wake up right out of that. So there are apps called, I think the one I heard about is called Sleep Time. You tell it what time you need to be awake. And I'm assuming you tell it what time you're falling asleep or what time you're laying down trying to go to sleep. And it'll wake you up at the proper sleep cycle so that you don't wake up groggy and foggy brained and all of that. You can actually wake up feeling like you slept and are refreshed. And so it gives you a half-hour window of time before the time you need to wake up so that it can know when to wake you up between a half hour before then and when you actually said you need to get up to be in the right sleep cycle to wake up in. So I have not tried that myself yet, but that is one thing I have heard for sleep cycles. The other is getting a sleep tracker that you wear, like a Fitbit or just the sleep monitor bracelets. I know they do have ones that just track sleep, and there are apps you can try to track your sleep in too. And kind of being aware of your sleep habits, your sleep patterns. It'll probably take a little bit of using those for it to really learn your habits and figure things out, but it can be super useful for knowing what's going wrong and how to improve your sleep. And I have definitely started looking up Fitbit prices for multiple reasons. Okay, so my 4th tip is stopping caffeinated and non-caffeinated beverages by a certain time every night. The caffeinated beverages stopping will make sure that you aren't still being hyped up by that, but when you're trying to fall asleep. And non-caffeinated will make sure you can avoid getting up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night if you can. And it'll at least lessen how many times you have to if you do. So both of those being stopped at a certain time can make sure that they have time to go through your system in time to not affect you after you go to bed. So if you stop all of that at 8 o'clock, hopefully by 9 or 10, whenever you go to bed, you will have gotten all of the caffeine out of your system and it won't keep you up, and you have not had liquids enough to make you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, interrupting your sleep. That is something I'm really not good at because I keep water at the side of our bed. But I know getting up in the middle of the night does interrupt your sleep still. So I probably need to work on not drinking so close to going to bed. And the 5th and final tip for getting better sleep is to actually make sure you're comfortable while you're sleeping and to fall asleep. So if your bed is in really poor condition, get a new mattress that you can actually feel comfortable in and fall asleep in feeling good. And if you need new pillows, get new pillows. Do what you need to feel comfortable in your bed to fall asleep, and so that it doesn't hurt you in any way while you're sleeping and make sleeping uncomfortable, and making sure it's not so uncomfortable that it's making you toss and turn and wake up and hurting your sleep that way. So that is the things I've been thinking about with sleep. I know I need to get better sleep. So if you enjoyed this and you learned something from it, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody. I hope it helped you in some way and you got some good little nuggets for thought. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, click the screen and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!